crud. No con funk, but a little con crud.
And that can be cured quickly. So.
Yes, antibiotics for the concrete.
Should we introduce ourselves?
Yes,
Yeah, Joseph.
Please introduce yourself.
Did you forget our name?
Do you know our name?
He probably doesn't. He disappeared already.
Please introduce yourselves for people who don't know exactly who you are.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Steve Downs, and I am the voice of Master Chief in the video game Halo issue.
Yeah!
And I do a little yard work on the side. And, I can do some detailing if you want to park your car out front.
Do you do all of this in the armor?
Well, it depends. Sure.
Sweet. You're hired.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Ratzenberger. I work for Pixar.
Yeah!
And I do like carpentry, so we work together.
I'm Erin Fitzgerald, and I'm sitting between John Ratzenberger and Bill Farmer. It's early on Sunday at a con coma, so I wrote down my credits. Ed, and Eddie from Cartoon Network, Monster High, Nickelodeon, Ever After High, Netflix original series as of next year. Wild Grinders, Dragon's Crown, Persona 4, Bravely Default, League of Legends, Star Wars, Catherine, and Last of Us. That is just a little sample of what I've done.
Yeah!
I'm Bill Farmer. I can't remember what I've been on this morning. I guess I'm best known as voice behind. I always do dogs. It's like Goofy. Howdy, everyone.
Yeah!
And of course, Pluto. And many other dogs and strange creatures throughout the years.
All right, so for our lovely panelists, if you wish to ask them a question, please line up over here, me with the mic over in the crowd. We're doing one question. I'll over to the side, so that way you can actually see people.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So if you want to ask a question, please come up and line up.
My question is for Miss Miss Fitzgerald. Do you ever play or watch any of the things you dub over?
Well, for games we don't dub, they do the animation after we record. I only have dubbed for anime because it's already created. For Chie, I don't know how much I can say, but we recorded Persona Q recently, and the animation for that is so stunning. So there were sections of Adamatics that were already animated, so I got to see it while recording, and I was drooling. I pre-ordered that game from that section because it was gorgeous. Yeah, so yeah.
I was wondering if you could give advice for kids my age who want to be voice actors, what would you say to them?
I'd say Booker right now with that voice.
Yeah, it helps to have rich parents that can support you in the early years. No, it's mostly just practice and play at your age. When I was your age, I was just watching cartoons and just practicing running around with my parents going, "I'm ready for dinner," and scaring my parents to death, "I'm Bella's win," so just irritate your parents with practicing all the time. No, they kept me in the basement.
Okay, my question kind of plays off the first, so I'm glad I let him first. Which is, I am married to a high school teacher who thinks he really should be a voice actor, and so he needs advice of how he can do that and quit doing voice.
So you're looking for a way to get him to get out of voiceover and stay with high school teaching?
No, I just want him to do it somewhere besides the house.
They have these portable sheds.
We wanted one of those for our 13-year-old.
So the shed's already taken.
Yeah. Two sheds, I guess.
Two shed household.
Well, I know for me, a lot of to release, when I would annoy the heck out of everyone around me, I would just create my own work. Like, I would write sketches and force everyone around me to do them at my call and bidding. Of course, I was starring in them. And that helped tremendously for the release of the voices that would build up at home. But there's never a time that I'm not annoying my partner with voices. So even as a professional, it might get worse.
You know, if you want to follow this career, if you talk to 100 voice actors, you'll get 100 different journey stories about how they got there. But there are some similarities. First of all, you have to have perseverance, because it's a very, very competitive business. If you are auditioning for a cartoon show, you are up against people like John and Aaron and everybody. Maurice LaMarche will be on the same audition with you, and so your performance has to be up in that ballpark. So you have to have talent, which you can work on by practicing, listening, recording yourself until you sound really great. Perseverance, talent, and luck. That plays a lot into it. If you do this long enough, you will get opportunity. It's 12 years after I got out of college before I got the audition that changed my career. And I did, 5 years of stand-up, and which I thought was the best training I ever had. Anything on a stage is probably great training because you learn from the audience. The audience tells you what is funny, what works, what doesn't, and you get a sense of how to deliver lines. So acting lessons, you're not someone that just does funny voices for a living. You are doing characters that have funny voices, but it's the soul of the character, the emotion, the personality of the character that's the most important. And so acting lessons are probably the most important thing you could have.
Thank you guys so much.
Hi guys.
As the crowd descends into silence.
How did each of you get started in a career as a voice actor, and how would you recommend someone nowadays get started in their own career as a voice actor?
Well, I always think it's really acting, just as Bill brought up. It's being empathetic, but it's I mentioned yesterday in another group discussion where it's like being a plumber. As an actor, you walk into the room and you've got so many tools in your bag, and you should be expected to perform on stage, do a radio commercial, TV, voice acting, whatever it is, but I think it's just part of the menu of what you walk in with. I think this whole concept of being just a voice actor is comparatively new. So that's my take on it, be an actor. Because it's all about empathy and with voice, you have to transmit what's going on with that character just through your voice. At least as acting, we can use our semaphore, but you can't do that with voice acting.
My background is primarily radio, which in a strange way was both a blessing and a curse in terms of transitioning to voice acting, because as a radio personality, at least the way I do it, it's you develop a certain style that, while great for being a radio personality, doesn't play well when you're asked to sell soap, and or be a gaming actor or whatever else it might be. But it does get you sort of used to 99% of what I do on the radio is ad-lib, and so you get used to thinking on your feet and moving forward that way, and that can come in handy in the booth for voice acting, because most of the time, almost all of the time, whatever you're about to do, you see about 5 minutes before they say, okay, go. And so almost all of voice acting is cold reads, and so the ability to be able to, as John said, pull something out of your bag is, oh, this is this kind of read. you can go to that place to grab that, and that's where it comes in handy.
Yeah, I have to concur with these gentlemen. I'm trained theatrically. I'm a theater stage actress. That's where I discovered that I'm a character actor, and character acting training was not only the heart and soul of who I am, but that's what led me into this particular genre of acting. The voice part of voice acting is just so that you know what it doesn't mean that I ever intended to be a voice actor. I just happened to be made to do characters. That works for me beautifully. Like Chie Satonaka is me personified already. But like I was at a job that's coming out soon where for a video game, you don't get the script necessarily beforehand. Sometimes if you're going in cold, and I walked in and I hadn't seen the script, they were giving me about 10 minutes to go over the lines, hundreds of lines. And I saw in the middle of that packet there was going to be an incredibly dramatic scene where there was going to be a lot of crying. So I had to, right in that moment, use my plumber tool belt and be able to go immediately to that place emotionally as that character so I could deliver the performance that gamer will be able to feel from that character experiencing that really heightened dramatic, like I would never actually even experience that in real life because it's so save the world, die, that's kind of a thing, but I had to go there really, really quickly. And I feel that the only reason I can do stuff like that is my years and years of theater training, of learning how to use this as an instrument, not just my physical body, my emotional body, my mental body. The improv training, unbelievably handy, especially when you're reading things for the first time cold and you need to sell it right away. If you were learning how to commit, all of that is incredibly valuable.
Or you get committed.
My story was I just grew up in a little town in south central Kansas, just fell in love with movies as far back as I could remember, always wanting to do this, but it was like a million miles away, Hollywood. And so I just kind of did little plays and stuff in my basement. I would take an tape recorder, and practice like I was Walter Cronkite on the news, and do little news stories that I would write. And it was just, it was my little stage was my basement where me and my friends would put on little plays and stuff and do all of this. So I just played with tape recorders and stuff when I was a little kid. I got my degree in broadcast journalism and kicked around in radio for a number of years, which was a great training ground, especially in the really horrible little stations that I worked with in Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas, where they gave you the latitude to, it was kind of like, well, play a few of the 45s at this hour and you can do whatever you want. Make sure people listen, that was the direction they got. So I had to come up with stuff, and I'd come up with characters, I would, we'd have a rock and roll hour, and I'd bring in Wolfman Jack, Blazing Jack. I didn't know those copyrights or anything. And then I got into stand-up for 3 or 4 years, which before coming to California, and that was, as I say, the best training was the stage work, because you get immediate response from the audience, you find what works, what doesn't. And I did not plan to be a voice actor, I just wanted to be involved in show business in some fashion, and I was going along as a stand-up, and then I got this audition for Goofy, which changed the whole course of my career. And that, and also along the way, one thing that you need to know is that you need a place to be bad. And what I mean by that, before you're good at acting, before you're good at voice, you're going to be bad at it. You have to have a place to work that out and get good. That was what was so great.
My sister's nodding her head a little too hard.
Yeah, all of those, the Chuckle Hut in Boise is a good place to be bad, where, you got all these really crummy audiences, and it's like, you go out and, say, hi, how are you? You suck! You learn to take criticism, which is also a very important part of
That's one of my favorite quotes. Winston Churchill said,